my closest friends are Persians, and I love the Persian people. And we should have a heart for the Persian people to try and have a better future. Regime change is very difficult to talk about. I actually don't like talking about regime change. It's very complicated, but understand that there can be brighter days ahead for the Iranian people. And just look at some of these pictures of how beautiful Iran used to be, how beautiful Tehran used to be. And it's very easy to kind of sit in your Western armchair and be like, oh, Israel's terrible. Well, you're able to enjoy free speech rights and a lot of rights here in the West that Iran used to have. And if you are serious about actually protecting human rights, you should want to make Iran Western again.
So does everybody see what Erica Kirk is trying to do? Again, they posted this from the Turning Point USA account. So what Erica Kirk is trying to do is she is trying to, again, control the narrative, because the majority of Americans polled are against this war with Iran. So she puts out this old video of Charlie Kirk basically saying, like, look, Iran can be just like it was before if it was westernized, right? So Turning Point USA is effectively trying to convince Americans to support the war with Iran. That's what this video is all about. He who controls the narrative controls the people. And so they know that Charlie Kirk said the exact opposite before he died. And so what they're trying to do now is to convince you that Charlie Kirk would absolutely unequivocally support this war with Iran. And as we saw before he died, that did not seem to be the case. So this is very shady, but it's also manipulative.
TYKIAH says, meet at door. They go up to the gate and someone will meet you. Not the main house. Drive up driveway.
Grok posts community notes when something is out of context. Here's what Grok said. The clip predates Charlie Kirk's June 2025 statement calling regime change in Iran pathologically insane. He opposed war. Grok had to come in with a community note because Turning Point USA and the Erica clan, they are all trying to convince you that he is supporting this. In fact, there was a recent episode of the Charlie Kirk show where the Turning Point USA staff said if Charlie Kirk were alive today, he would support what Donald Trump is doing in Iran. These are just straight up lies. You see how sneaky they are? Now, let's show you what he said before. Before he died. Listen to this.
Let's do some updates about Israel and Iran and potentially the United States. On one side is the Lindsey Graham, John Bolton types, where they are actively calling for regime change. Here is Lindsey Graham. And this is just lunacy. This kind of analysis is not helpful. This kind of approach, this kind of argument, it has nothing to do with nuclear weapons at this point. This is now that we want to go all in and take out the regime. It's time for us to close the chapter on the Iranian Ayatollah and his henchmen and start a new chapter in the Middle East. And that sounds good, doesn't it? But what have we learned when it comes to wars, and especially wars in the Middle East?
Good, how are you?
Chilling. Let's see now. What's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin. Okay, but the lady's name is, or it's a dip, it's
Takia?
Takia?
Yeah, Takia Holland.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see.
It gave me a pin. Hold on.
Okay. I just gotta figure out which order it is. Okay, go ahead.
3801.
3801. Okay.
90 million people and was an
Okay, let's figure it out.
Power with well over a dozen ethnic groups. You have underground Christians.
You know how many drinks you had?
I had 2 drinks. I had a.
That's actually false.
Okay, gotcha.
It was a peach drink
And a Coke.
And I hope that's why you're watching.
Peach and a Coke, right?
Yeah.
The second largest population of Jewish people in the Middle East lives in
And what's that code again?
380.
380. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Here we go.
You need to know that.
Thanks. Here's the food. I got the drinks in the back.
Secular younger Persian. Who's gonna run the country exactly, Lindsey Graham? This
I gotta
sounds
make sure
like
that
Hillary
Chloe goes
Rodham
through
Clinton.
Okay, yeah. I'll do it real quick.
I'm pointing to the
384.
far extreme
But you gotta hold these drinks.
conservative extreme. We must go take off the head of the snake right now. Like a
You all win,
384.
President Trump, in helping Israel eliminate the nuclear threat. If we need to provide bombs to Israel, provide bombs. If we need to fly planes with Israel,
No, they don't care. Thank you.
bigger question.
We're good. Yeah, sometimes they don't care. They're like, you gotta go, bro. God bless you. Thank you.
It's time to close the chapter on the Iranian Ayatollah impeachment. Let's close that chapter soon and start a new chapter in the Mideast, one of tolerance and hope and peace.
Okay, that sounds good, but that's pathologically insane. I'm sorry. How do you know?
How come Turning Point USA didn't retweet this video?
What's up?
You see what I mean?
I gotta
How
also
come
hit
they
the
didn't
juice, the
retweet
mango
this
juice for
video,
brother.
ladies and gentlemen?
I didn't get that. It must be another guy.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
An old
Peace.
video.
All right, thank you.
Oh, it's gonna be better. Yeah, the Ayatollah is awful. But maybe he's one of the few guys that can keep that country together and not have a 90 million person civil war. Lindsey Graham is so consistently out of his mind, it's hard to even comprehend. Iran is hugely diverse. It is a massive country. Do the people agitating for war even know that? Let's be clear, regime change is war. Just to understand, regime change is not like changing the head coach of the
Sorry.
Chicago Bears. It's not how it works. It's not like a clean transfer. Typically in the Mideast, it's very messy, creates a quagmire, and then there is civil war.
So, sounds very different than the video that you just saw, right? They're retweeting old information to get people on board with this war in Iran. And I'm pretty sure there are people that are part of Turning Point USA, that may be members of Turning Point USA, that also said, look, we do not support this war. And they're like, uh-oh, we got some of our own members opposing this. And so they're trying to trick them. Guys, this is sneaky, it's corrupt, and it's shady.
Yep.
This is what I meant about controlling the narrative. Now that brings me to this part, because people have to see this. This part also was very shady. Shout out to Jenny Robinson, she shared this. Erica Kirk and TPUSA are trying to quite literally delete Charlie's legacy. Share it and tell everyone they are deleting all of his work. All of his videos and podcast episodes are gone. You can find nothing on Apple Podcasts or Spotify before January 5th of this year. So she's talking about Apple and Spotify. I'm not sure if it's the same for any of the other platforms, but let's look at this here and see what's happening. So she's doing a search here, 2026,
There we go.
February, January,
Burning the gas. Burning the gas.
but it's almost as
You wanna
if
make it through that light.
January
Otherwise
7th.
it'll cost more gas.
Where is 2025?
Getting started cost the most gas.
So do you guys see what Erica's doing? And again, like, we have to say Erica. You can't just say Turning Point USA. She is the CEO. Do you see how she's removing
going
the
down.
episodes that don't agree with the narrative that they are trying to push? It's almost as if they're trying to rewrite history.
They are.
But again, we're supposed to believe this woman's
Ow.
so grieving and oh, I miss my husband. Oh. She got time to erase things though. Who is driving the bus? Makes you
Benjamin
wonder
Netanyahu, if he's still alive.
A lot of this was all planned. We have new information here
Yes,
that I
he
think
is.
you guys
I
should
heard
see. This is
nothing else.
from Wolves and Finance. They were talking about this van that was present the day that Charlie Kirk was killed. Everybody needs to tie all of this together. I find it very strange that the CEO of Turning Point USA and all these other people are actively out there trying to make it seem as though Charlie Kirk didn't change his position on war with Iran. Don't forget, he went to Donald Trump last time and told him, do not strike Iran. This is not going to be popular. People are not for it. This is going to be absolutely, a travesty. No more wars. Remember, he was the one who went and spoke to him about that. And the next thing you knew, he was dead. So let's go revisit that day and see what happened with that van.
1. The military convinced Donald Trump to run for president. 2. There's infighting among intelligence agencies. 3. People within the military want to influence the election. 4. Charlie Kirk and Tyler Boyer have a strange photo flashing hand signs. 5. There is evidence Turning Point was violating election laws. 6. There is evidence of financial irregularities at Turning Point. 7. Turning Point has multiple employees with connections to Fort Huachuca. And 8. Fort Huachuca is the U.S. Army Intelligence Center of Excellence.
See all the
Center
military
of
connections?
excellence.
And if we really want to go back down that road, don't you guys remember when Donald Trump had that attempted assassination where he said the bullet grazed his ear? And then all of a sudden, you know, magically he didn't have to wear a bandage on that ear anymore. The ear looks totally fine to me.
Lies.
All the pieces are starting to fall in place.
This is the definition of a conspiracy. The only question is, how far did this conspiracy go? Did the military actually break the law to try to influence the election? Now, with all of this in mind, let us revisit what happened on the day that Charlie Kirk was murdered. I'm going to show you 3 things that most people have missed. Number 1, the van. On the day of the shooting, there was a black van pulled up right behind Charlie Kirk's tent. This is a breakdown given by a small YouTuber, Algiest Nydream.
And then it's Kirk himself who starts the countdown by tipping his nose. The trunk opens, Turk confirms by tipping his cap in his ear, and the bodyguard also gives his affirmative signal.
I'm going to freeze this frame. I'm not going to show the actual shooting because this is on YouTube. But this is the moment right before the shot happens. In the background, you see the black van. Someone opened the back of this van moments before the shooting happened. Then we also see the bodyguard, Dan Flood, doing some kind of hand sign right before the shooting happens. Now let us go right after the shooting.
So this van, which I did not pay attention to at that time, has become a question.
In the meantime, they also close the trunk to hide its content from the spectators fleeing the stands. 19 seconds after the shot, we can observe the trunk closed.
19 seconds after the shot, the trunk is closed.
That is strange. Now that's something I did not know about, but that is very odd. Just things that we may not have paid attention to at that point in time.
Excuse me? Am I the only person who finds this suspicious? Gone. And someone who had just opened the trunk says to themselves, while everyone is running for cover, I'm going to shut the trunk of my van. I find this extremely suspicious. Number 2, the audio. This same YouTuber took audio from the different camera angles and used it to triangulate the trajectory of the bullet.
I looked at all the clips that had a good enough quality to analyze them with the software Audacity. And then I calculated the angles, distances, and correct thumb deltas.
According to his calculations, the bullet from the top of the Losi Center could not have hit Charlie Kirk, but in fact seems to be traveling straight towards the back of the van.
This is something that Ken, when this shooting first happened, when Ken came on the show, this was something that Ken said. He said there's no way that shot from the top of that building would have landed where it landed. And at the time, like, this had just happened, and I was just like, well, how do you know? And yada, yada, and all this type of stuff. But more information has been revealed over time, and people have more questions.
This analysis has been repeated by multiple people. Here's another YouTuber, Jordan Henshaw, who performs the same calculations in a graphic simulation.
Okay, so this software is basically doing exactly what Algiest did, only it's in real time.
Okay, here's the tent where Charlie Kirk is at. Here's the van.
As I drag the little crosshairs right there, it is computing the error between predicted values and actual measured values for Charlie Kirk shot versus the van shot. Doing this in real time, and over here on the right you can see the amount of error. And over here, this is simulating the mock cone visually in 3 dimensions. And what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the mock cone to hit the camera or the microphone. And I say set crack. And then I wait for it to hit, then I wait for the thump sphere to hit the microphone. And I say set thump.
So according to this, someone opened the back of the van, someone shot into the back of the van from the top of the Losi Center, and then they closed the trunk. That leaves the question, what happened to Charlie Kirk?
See, this is the question that a lot of people have. You know, and we didn't really get to see, especially at that time, what was going on behind the scenes there with that van and everything else. But people are starting to piece more things together. And if you think about what I just showed you, the fact that Erica is out here putting out lies, trying to frame this in such a way to get people to feel as though, look, guys, this is how Charlie Kirk felt about Iran. He would actually support this war with Iran. That's what they're doing. They're playing with people's heads right now with that. Guys, this is all, you have every right to be suspicious. Every single right. And the way that Erica is behaving, she's not behaving like someone who's a grieving widow. Now we're going to get to the brown shirt guy. This is another one.
According to the audio, it is not possible for Tyler Robinson to have shot Charlie Kirk.
What did I tell you? When Larry Wilkerson came on the show after Charlie Kirk was shot, Larry Wilkerson said he believes that Tyler Robinson was invented. He said they invented him. Most people I know do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk.
Now, these YouTubers are speculating that the death was faked, but I think it is more sinister than that. There was way too many people who wanted to seize control of Turning Point. Number 3, Brown Shirt Man. There was a man in the crowd I'm going to call Brown Shirt Man. I want to give credit to all the internet sleuths who have been talking about this. I want to especially thank an internet sleuth named Jeff Renz for putting a lot of this information together. And also thank you to another internet sleuth, Dave from Kansas, for helping me research this. Also, I have to give credit to journalist Stu Peters, who's one of the first people to talk about Brown Shirt Man. Here is another angle of the shooting.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
We have to pause here, but look at Brown Shirt Man. So do you see his hand right here, right on his cuff? Almost as if he's giving some type of signal. We have to fast forward this part really quick. Okay, and then we can bring it back in.
I am blacking out Charlie Kirk. This is the moment of the gunshot. Who is this guy? My understanding is that this is someone named Rick Cutler. I have not seen this man in video of other Charlie Kirk events, so it appears that he is a new member of the security team. But if he is in security, why would he be stationed behind the barriers? Am I the only person who thinks this is suspicious? He's wearing a brown shirt. I would say he's 30 to 40 years old. He looks like a military
Winston C.
guy.
says, need a door.
People in the
Come to
military
Winship
have a
Building.
certain look.
There is a roundabout with a
Brown
spiral
shirt
in the
man
middle.
Looks like a military guy. Here's another
Winston
close-up
C.
of the brown
says,
shirt man
need a
from the
door.
event.
Come to
You can
Winship
see
Building.
he has a
There is a
unique
roundabout with a
tattoo on his
spiral in the
arm.
middle.
This person right here is Frank Turek, who's a pastor who works with TPUSA Faith. A lot of people have been wondering why he's holding his cell phone this way. Frank Turek claims he was on FaceTime. This does not look like a FaceTime call to me. This looks like he is recording video footage. These are 3 angles, just so you can understand where Frank Turek is. Frank Turek is pointing his cell phone camera directly